Side characters, often overshadowed by protagonists, are the unsung heroes of storytelling. Though not always in the spotlight, they add depth, complexity, and nuance to narratives, shaping the story's direction and influencing the growth of main characters. Yet despite their importance, side characters are frequently confined to the background, leaving audience to sympathize with their potential and wonder what more they could become. This video explores the essential role side characters play in creating engaging and memorable stories, while highlighting the bittersweet reality that no matter how compelling, they often remain in the shadows of the protagonist. So like and subscribe if you are interested in more content like this, and don't forget this is all just my opinion. Naruto, the widely popular anime series, tells the story of Naruto Uzumaki and his journey toward becoming the Hokage, the strongest ninja in his village. Set in a world where ninjas wield a power system called chakra, the series explores themes of friendship, overcoming destiny, and self-discovery. Among the vast cast of characters is Rock Lee, a ninja with no ability to use ninjutsu or genjutsu, who serves as a living testament to sheer willpower and the philosophy of never giving up. Lee's journey had the potential to break barriers, proving that with enough hard work, even someone with inherent limitations could overcome destiny. However, as the series progresses, Rock Lee's arc feels incomplete, as the narrative sidelines him, ultimately failing to fulfill the very themes of perseverance and triumph over destiny that the series promises. From the very beginning, Rock Lee's character is designed to be an underdog. Born without the ability to use chakra-based techniques like most ninjas, Lee dedicates himself entirely to taijutsu, or hand-to-hand combat. He adopts the belief that hard work can surpass natural talent, and his unyielding determination becomes his defining trait. In the early part of the series, especially during the Chunin exams, this belief is challenged when Lee speaks with Neji, a character who strongly believes in the power of destiny. Neji tells Lee that no amount of hard work will change his fate, and that he is destined to remain inferior to those born with natural abilities. In response, Lee continues to train and fight, believing that through perseverance he can break through. He can break through the limitation that life has imposed on him. During the Chunin exams, Lee's determination is put to the test in his iconic fight with Gaara. This battle is one of the most memorable moments in Naruto, where Lee showcases his raw physical strength and mastery of taijutsu, pushing himself to the brink by opening the 8 gates, a forbidden technique that puts immense strain on his body. Though he loses the fight, Lee earns the respect of his peers and audience. This moment seems to set the stage for Lee's future growth. His path as a ninja, who despite his lack of natural abilities, can rise to greatness through hard work and willpower. However, as Naruto progresses, particularly in Shippuden, Lee's presence and importance begin to dwindle. While Naruto and Sasuke and other key characters gain access to increasingly godlike abilities, Lee's development is virtually ignored. The potential for him to overcome his physical limitations and prove that hard work can truly surpass natural talent is never fully realized. Instead, Lee remains a side character, with most of his significant battles occurring early in the series, and none of them resulting in a victory over a truly formidable opponent. The narrative shifts its focus towards characters with special powers, advanced techniques, and unique lineage, leaving Lee and his philosophy of hard work by the wayside. This gradual sidelining of Rock Lee calls into question one of the core themes of Naruto, the idea of overcoming destiny. Naruto, the protagonist, is framed as the ultimate underdog, someone who overcomes adversity through grit, determination, and hard work. However, as the series progresses, it's revealed that much of Naruto's strength is derived from the 9 tails sealed within him, and his lineage as a reincarnation of a powerful figure. This revelation undermines the themes that hard work alone can lead to success, suggesting instead that those with natural gifts and powerful heritage ultimately prevail. In the case of Rock Lee, this is even more evident. His journey, which began with the most promising overcoming of the impossible, slowly fizzles out, reinforcing the idea that natural talent, bloodline, and destiny holds more weight in the ninja world than hard work. Neji's words during the tuning exam that Lee would never amount to anything due to his lack of natural talent are ironically proven true as the story progresses. Despite the show's initial attempt to portray Neji as being wrong about destiny, the lack of significant growth for Rock Lee suggests otherwise. His character is left to stagnate, never defeating any notable opponents or achieving the level of strength or recognition that other characters attain. He had the potential to serve as a living contradiction to the concept of destiny, to prove that even someone without extraordinary gifts could rise to the top through sheer will and perseverance. Instead, his story is left unfinished, a reflection of how the series ultimately prioritizes those born with powers over those who must struggle for it. His arc could have been a powerful commentary on the value of hard work in the face of adversity, but due to poor writing choices and a shift in narrative focus, Lee's character never reaches the potential he was promised. In the end, Rock Lee's story is a bittersweet reminder of how Naruto itself strayed from its early themes. While Naruto himself achieves his greatness, he does so not solely through hard work but because of the immense power he was born with. In contrast, Rock Lee, the underdog, is left behind, unable to break through the barriers of destiny that were imposed on him from the start. Lee's unfulfilled potential remains as one of the biggest examples of how the show contradicts its own message, leaving fans to wonder what might have been if his journey had been given the conclusion it deserved. Red Hood, also known as Jason Todd, the second Robin, stands as one of the most intriguing anti-heroes, revered for his tragic backstory, complex morality, and his relentless pursuit of justice. His transformation from once bright Robin into the brutal and vengeance Red Hood following his resurrection gave him a unique place in the DC universe. As a character who challenges both Batman's strict no-kill policy and the traditional black and white notions of heroism, Red Hood had the potential to be one of the most compelling characters in DC's roster. However, despite this potential, Jason Todd's journey as Red Hood has been plagued by the inconsistent writing and unclear direction. Writers often struggle to decide where Jason fits within the moral spectrum, whether he should embrace redemption as a reformed hero or stay in the morally ambiguous territory that initially made him so fascinating. This indecisiveness has resulted in storylines where his motivations and actions frequently contradict each other, leaving fans confused and his character development feeling disjointed. One of the primal struggles in Jason's character is his relationship with Batman and his former identity as Robin. On one hand, Jason holds deep resentment towards Batman for not avenging his death after he was brutally murdered by the Joker. His return as Red Hood was driven by his belief that justice should come at any cost, even if it meant killing. Yet in several instances, Jason has been written as a character yearning for Bruce's approval, desperately wanting to reconnect with the Bat family, despite his violent methods. His eternal conflict between wanting vengeance and seeking redemption is at the heart of Jason's identity, but is often portrayed inconsistently. In one storyline, he may be painted as an unforgiving anti-hero, willing to cross every line. In the next, he is shown as someone seeking to return to his former role as a hero under Batman's guidance. The lack of cohesion in his character is further complicated by his evolving stance of killing. Red Hood was initially positioned as a foil to Batman, one who believed that taking the lives of criminals was the only path to true justice. Yet over time, writers wavered on this point. Some versions of Red Hood seem comfortable with killing, while the others depict him trying to adopt Batman's moral code, even grudgingly. This consistent back and forth makes it difficult for readers to understand who Red Hood truly is. He is a ruthless vigilante who believes in lethal force, or is he a damaged former sidekick who is trying to find his place in Batman's world without crossing too many lines? The inconsistent portrayal of his moral compass leaves Jason Todd's character in a frustrating limbo. Another issue is the frequent contradictions in Jason's actions and motivations. For instance, there are times where Jason seeks revenge and aims to dismantle Gotham's crime world, yet he often collaborates with other morally dubious characters or criminal organizations. This undermines the very principle he claims to stand for. Similarly, Jason's emotional and psychological trauma is touched upon, but never truly explored. His death and resurrection should have been central to his character motivations, but writers have repeatedly dropped or mishandled this crucial element, leading to shallow portrayals of a character who should have been defined by his scars of his past. Ultimately, Red Hood's character has suffered because of his indecision surrounding him. Rather than allowing Jason to fully embrace his darker, morally grey persona or push him towards a believable redemption arc, writers have often left him teetering between the two, resulting in a diluted version of what could have been a groundbreaking character. This constant tug-of-war between his identity as a vengeful anti-hero and his lingering attachment to Batman and his moral code has left Jason's growth feeling stunted and incomplete. Fans are often left questioning his motivations and confused by his sudden shift in personalities. In the end, Red Hood's struggles in the DC universe stem not from the character himself, but from the inability of writers to commit to a clear direction for his development. He is a character torn between two worlds, the vigilant who believes in lethal justice, and the former psychic who longs for redemption and acceptance. The failure to fully explore either path has left Jason Todd in a frustrating state of inconsistency, with a storyline that often contradicts his motivations and undermines his potential. Until Red Hood is given a more focused and consistent direction, he will remain a shell of the great character he could have been, all because he could never be the main character. DC Comics can't have the sidekick of the main character kill Joker, the person who killed him in the first place. So for a very long time they've had Jason in this limbo, not knowing where to put the side character. My Hero Academia is an anime centered around Izuku Midoriya, also known as Deku, and his journey to becoming the number one hero in the world, where nearly everyone is born with superpowers known as quirks. However, Deku is born quirkless, until he inherits the power of One for All from All Might, the current number one hero. One for All is a quirk that grants immense physical strength and can be passed down from one hero to the next. As the series progresses, we follow Deku's path to the top, but in Season 4 we are introduced to a character named Mirio, who was originally meant to receive One for All before Deku. Due to a twist of fate, All Might never met Mirio before handing the quirk to Deku. Mirio's quirk, Permeation, allows him to phase through any solid objects. While this might seem like a powerful ability, it is an extraordinarily difficult quirk to master. When Mirio activates his quirk, all his senses, including sight and hearing, are cut off because everything, even light and sound, phases through him. This meant for years Mirio struggled to control the quirk. One miscalculation could result in him falling through the ground or becoming vulnerable during a fight. However, through relentless hard work and dedication, Mirio was able to perfect his quirk to the point where he became one of the most promising students in Yuhei High School and one of the strongest young heroes. As the season progresses, we see the clear contrast between Deku and Mirio in terms of heroism, decision making, and how they handle complex situations. The difference between the two characters becomes especially apparent during the overhaul arc, where both heroes are confronted with critical decisions. In the first encounter with Overhaul, the main villain of the series, Deku and Mirio come across him in a narrow alleyway, along with a frightened young girl named Eri, who they later learn is in grave danger. Overhaul's quirk is still a mystery at this point, and they are unsure of the extent of his powers. Deku, driven by his emotion and the immediate need to save Eri, wants to intervene right away, but Mirio makes the tough decision to hold back. He recognizes the potential danger to the surrounding civilians and understands that fighting Overhaul without fully knowing his abilities could lead to disastrous consequences. Mirio's composure, critical thinking, and ability to assess the situation highlights his maturity and experience as a hero, in stark contrast to Deku's emotional impulse to jump into action. In this moment, Mirio demonstrates a superior level of heroism, showing that being a hero isn't just about saving people in the heat of the moment. It's also about making the right call to ensure long-term success and minimize harm. Mirio's decision to postpone the fight demonstrates a better understanding of heroism, where the greater good sometimes means delaying immediate action for a more calculated approach. But the most impactful moment of the arc, however, comes during the second encounter with Overhaul. In this battle, Mirio is faced with an almost impossible situation: protect Eri while fighting Overhaul, who is an incredibly dangerous villain. In the course of the fight, Mirio is forced to make the ultimate sacrifice, his quirk. To protect Eri, he willingly loses his quirk, the ability that he spent years mastering, the foundation of his entire hero career. Despite losing his quirk, Mirio doesn't back down. He continues to fight Overhaul, using only his physical strength and unbreakable will to protect Eri at all cost. This moment serves as the highlight of the entire season. It showcases what true heroism means, not the power or the abilities that make someone strong, but the unwavering resolve to protect others, no matter the cost. Mirio, even without his quirk, stands as a symbol of what it means to be a hero, fighting valiantly against overwhelming odds. This scene is a pinnacle of heroism, where Mirio's sacrifice and perseverance exemplifies the very value that My Hero Academia upholds. It shows that Mirio, more than anyone else, truly deserves the power of One for All. This isn't to say that Deku is a poor hero or undeserving of One for All. Throughout the series, Deku shows tremendous heart, determination, and unyielding desire to save others. His journey from quirkless boy to someone worthy of inheriting All Might's powers is inspiring in its own right. However, when comparing Deku to Mirio, it becomes clear that Mirio had more experience, maturity, and a greater sense of what it means to be a hero. Mirio demonstrated time again that he possessed the qualities necessary for wielding One for All: the ability to make difficult decisions, the willingness to sacrifice everything for others, and the physical powers to make the most of the power. Had fate aligned differently, Mirio would have likely been an exceptional successor to All Might and arguably a better candidate for One for All at the time. Mirio's journey throughout Season 4 of My Hero Academia shows why he was, in many ways, a more deserving candidate for One for All than Deku. Mirio embodies the spirit of a hero in every sense. Someone who acts selflessly, stays composed under pressure, and is unwilling to sacrifice everything to protect those in need. In the end, Mirio's journey is bittersweet. Despite all his qualities that would have made him a perfect successor to All Might, the story chooses Deku as the wielder of One for All, because he is the main character. This decision leaves Mirio, a character who showcased exceptional heroism and sacrifice, somewhat sidelined. While Deku's story is one of overcoming the odds as a quirkless boy who rises to greatness, Mirio's story is one of lost potential. He is the hero who in another world should have received the power of One for All. His journey proves that sometimes, even when all qualities of a great hero are present, fate chooses otherwise. In the grand scheme of storytelling, side characters often fade into the background. Their story is untold or left incomplete. Yet their presence is vital in enriching the narrative and often offering more depth and intrigue than most protagonists themselves. Though their journey may be overshadowed, their impact is undeniable, shaping the world and the characters around them in meaningful ways. In the end, the beauty and the tragedy of side characters lie in their potential, forever captivating yet forever destined to remain in the shadows, leaving us to wonder what more they could have been.